Okay, I've managed to retreat to the Aer Lingus first class passenger lounge in order to write you some answers for the test. It'll have to be quick because I think Interpol are onto me. So, first question. You're asked to find, this is B, and this is A. You're asked to find B minus 1.5A. Well, as we discussed in class, this vector here is minus A. So this vector here, which is A, plus another half of A, I might make that a little bit longer actually, is minus 1.5A. So if I add my B vector to my minus 1.5A vector, like this, remember adding we do tip to tail, and we go from the tail of the first vector to the tip of the last vector. So minus 1.5A. So the answer to that question is this vector here. That is B minus 1.5A. And there's one point if whoever's paper you're marking got this in the right kind of direction, and one extra point if it looks quite accurate. So you can allow them a point of leeway. If roughly the right kind of construct exists and they're roughly doing the right thing, 1 mark, but if they've got it pretty close, then 2 marks altogether. Okay, second question. This is an example of something we looked at in class on Monday as well. So this vector has a magnitude of 3 meters per second. So we'd like to express it in terms of its components. This is the y-axis this time. This is the x-axis. The vector is here. We know its magnitude is 3 meters per second. This angle here is 10 degrees. Watch carefully. That there is the component along the x-axis, and this here, along this direction, is the component along the y-axis. So there's the triangle we're interested in. And as Moore says in the textbook, and I too agree with him, it's easiest if you find a triangle that includes the angle you're given. So here's the vector. This is our vector that we want to split into components. And these two sides are the x and the y component. This is the right angle in that triangle. So sine of 10 degrees is opposite over hypotenuse, which is the x component of the vector. Yeah, this one is opposite the 10 degrees, divided by the hypotenuse, which is the magnitude of the vector that we know is 3 meters per second. So the x component, rearranging this equation, is just 3 meters per second times by sine of 10 degrees. And by a very similar trig argument, the y component is 3 meters per second times by cosine of 10 degrees. So you can write either answer B, which is 3 meters per second times by sine of 10 degrees. Remember, this x directional means along the x-axis, plus 3 meters per second cos of 10 degrees along the y-axis. Or you can draw in this 80-degree angle, because this is 90 degrees between the two axes. You can redraw a new triangle like this, and you can get answer D. So both of those are correct. 1 point for each. Subtract half a mark for every other answer that your paper has marked right. Oh, I think Interpol are coming. Hang on. We'll have to turn off.